Hey, what's up guys? It's Toxic here, and today we're going to be doing Unpopular Opinions number 15. Please let me know down in the comments before we begin. Should I keep doing this series every week, or should I start, making this less frequent, like maybe every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every month? Because I noticed the views for this series in particular has kind of died down recently, and, obviously I'm capable of taking a hint that you guys might not be interested in this series anymore or for the time being. So let me know down in the comments. I'm sure if you're clicking on this video, you probably are the people who want to see this more frequently, but I figured I could ask anyway. Anyway, so let's get into the first comment from Dead Zone. Linkmon is only famous because he is rich. His content isn't that good in my opinion. Honestly, I'm not too sure if this is a very popular opinion or not. But the main reason I took this one is because of his content isn't that good in my opinion. I feel like I can't really personally state, oh, his content's not that good or anything, because I've seen maybe 1 or 2 of his videos, and one of them was a joke music video, so I don't quite know whether or not his content is good or bad or anything. But I remember on Elmad he was pretty well known due to the fact that he was rich, but I'm more than sure that doesn't just completely translate to fame on YouTube as well. So I think that it might have assisted him, but I don't think that he's only famous because he has a lot of Robux. I definitely don't think that's the case. So that's where I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this one. And I know a lot of people are disagreeing with me because I see this comment has a lot of likes. So, yikes. Anyway, moving on to the next comment from Windstripe. I hope that's your name. You just put a bunch of 1s and 3s, so I'm assuming that's your name. Third-party buying should be allowed. I'm going to say right now, I disagree with this. I think that third-party buying being allowed could potentially lead to a lot more people getting scammed, and Roblox being blamed for that because they're like, hey, Roblox is condoning this. So it's on their fault, and it would just make Roblox's job a lot harder at, regulating all the stuff that goes on, because of course there'll be more scamming reports because a lot more people are feeling inclined to buy these hats. And also I feel like the whole banning of third-party buying can also be kind of a safety net at times for preventing people who would buy it and then eventually get scammed, kind of be like, hey, I just read the rules, I see that you could get banned for it, therefore I don't want to do this. And, I want to protect my account and all, which I guess is also a good part of it. I don't know. But moving on to Mizon's comment, some Roblox updates are actually decent, but lots of players put all updates in a negative light. I actually agree with this. I can't think of any examples that come straight to my head, but I do know that a lot of people just throw any update on Roblox. They're just like, well, that update sucks because Roblox doesn't know how to update their game. And honestly, I've caught myself doing that a few times, and I'm happy I did catch myself because otherwise I would be really dumb. And honestly, I don't know. I really don't like it when I do that. I've tried not to do that lately. I don't know how that's really worked out for me. But yeah. Moving on though to Isaac's comment, blocking up to 50 players only is a terrible idea. There should be no limit due to bot trades. Now, I kind of agree with this. I feel like you should be able to block as many people as you want because there's always going to be some people who bother you. There's always going to be trade bots. There's always going to be those bots that follow you for some reason. And I think blocking makes them not able to follow you. It would logically make sense. Therefore, I'm saying that. If you can't, then Roblox, please fix that because I feel like if you block someone, they shouldn't be able to follow you. But yeah, I feel like you should be able to block as many people as you want because otherwise it's just like, hey, you can't really do anything about this person bothering you because you already have your maximum blocks, for whenever. It just doesn't make sense in my opinion. It really should be either much higher or just unlimited. I feel like it could also work twofold though because people could just start botting their block things up until they can't play with anyone. And honestly, I wonder how that would happen because I'm pretty sure if you block people in a lobby, you can't play with them. So if you just bought your blocks, you could just make your own lobbies in games. That would actually be pretty crazy now that I think about it. I don't know, though. Next up, though, Dr. Villarreal. The Ready Player One event was actually a great fun event. I had a lot of fun looking for the keys and playing the hard obby that tested my skills. I don't know anything about it other than I didn't like it at all, because of the way it was executed. Two, the hat, I mean, the guy who won it, Roku, I think was his name. A lot of people were bothering him because he won. And honestly, another thing about this is, you know, it kind of messed up a lot of games for a while. Like, you know, Phantom Force, you had people just joining and leaving because they couldn't get the key because it's not the right map. And if it was the right map, everybody would just be spamming that area instead. Like, you know, spamming at the, what is it, the vending machine, I believe is where it was at. But yeah, all in all, I feel like it just wasn't a very well executed event. Maybe it was fun, but I don't think it was well executed, and I just didn't like it personally. Next up though, from Sebalime, game devs aren't credited enough, and I honestly kind of agree with this, and I really do agree with this actually, because a lot of people would love to be first in line to say, oh, Jailbreak sucks, Jailbreak is horrible, whatever, whatever. But when you actually think about it, it's a really good game. The developers put up with a lot of people just, you know, trashing on them because they made the most popular game and everything. And even if it is a little bit repetitive at times, I have to admit, though, that Jailbreak is a pretty well-developed game. And, I mean, hey, it could be fun if you play it, like, maybe once in a while or something. And that goes for most games on the front page. Like, a lot of people want to say, oh, this game is horrible, it's trash, whatever. And I feel like it really undermines how much work goes into these games, and also, like, you know, how well developed they actually are. So yeah, I definitely agree. It's kind of messed up in a way. But next up, from Kavan the Second, unpopular opinion: war groups these days are pointless unless you like to roleplay. Now, you see, back in the day when war groups actually kind of had a purpose, people would just, you know, join these groups because they had nothing else to do. They would see an announcement like, hey, join this, we're raiding this game. And then you would be put into this game with like 50 versus, okay, no, not 50 versus 50. I'm pretty sure the cap back then was like 20. So 10 versus 10, I guess. I don't know what the cap actually was back then. Could have been bigger. I don't quite remember. All I know is that it would usually be a bunch of attackers versus a bunch of defenders. And back when these war groups were super active, it really made for a lot of fun. And, you know, obviously you're trying to win the little siege thing. So it actually brings out a little bit of competition. But now that they're not as active as they used to be, war groups now, I do agree, they kind of are like roleplay. Like, they probably just take you to some training game and they're like, okay, stand in line, follow my orders, and you'll get a rank up eventually. Or something like that. At least that's what I'm assuming that's how that works at this point. But yeah, all in all, I really do agree with this point that war groups now, probably, they don't really serve as much as a purpose as they used to. Moving on to DJ OCR, Robux is worthless. Now, this is a very interesting point. I don't know how to feel about this one, because I don't think Robux is, you know, worthless, because it does cost money to get, so it isn't really worthless, so to say. But you're making a very bold statement here, because Roblox has been kind of losing value. Like 100 Robux now is nothing like 100 Robux used to be back in the day. Because one, you know, as time goes on, there's more Robux in Roblox now. And two, I mean, I honestly don't know, actually. It's pretty crazy, because like 100 Robux back then could get you a Riptide. Now Riptide is like 450 Robux. Oh my god. Yeah, I remember when Riptide was like 50 or 60 Robux, actually. Oh my god, I should have bought like 1,000,000 of those. Wait, it would have been deleted anyway. But, yeah, I kind of... You make an interesting point. I don't think Robux is, like, worthless, so to say it's not worth any money, because obviously it costs money to get Robux. But I do like your point that Robux is becoming worthless, if that was your point. Maybe I'm, you know, misunderstanding what you're saying. But if that's what you're saying, I definitely agree with you. And I guess that's where I'm going to end today's video, because we're nearing the 10-minute mark. At least that's what it says here in this recording. I probably am going to edit a few parts out. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Should I keep making these? Should I, take a little break, or should they just be every month or so? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.